No intro, no outro, straight fire. All right, so let's get into these trades. So I'm going to do a trade recap for today and then also a weekly outlook for this week, what I'm looking at. Um, so let's start with the DXY. First thing, DXY is on a pullback. Like it is pulling back. So for me, short term, I'm looking for buy for the DXY into sells. Where am I looking to sell? I'm looking to sell right here. So what I'll do is I'll write up the buys. So right here, or I'll sell right here. I'll write up the buys until price decides it wants to react off of this point before tanking down, or react off this point and tank down. So what does that look for the EU? Um, as you can see, this trade that I was in last week got hit out, unfortunately, but I mean, it is what it is. So just go ahead and delete it off my chart. So what does that look for EU? I'm looking for short-term sells into buys. So I am, depending on how the volume profile close today, I'm going to take the sells down if it closes below the value area low. Hit the POC, take the sells down to this area before I get into some more buys, or ride the sells down to this POC before I get into some more buys. And then third COA, and for my non-military folks, quo means courses of action, ride price down to this POC before I get in for some buys. So 3 potential options for buys. In the meantime, between time, I just went ahead and I set my pending order for right here for buys. And then in a couple of hours when the market closed, see how price ends up closing to see if I set any pending sell orders. Um, yeah. USD CHF, same thing. I'm looking for buys into sells. And as you can see, I am in this buy right here, seeing how price is going to react again. Potentially might get a quick 11%. Like if I get that, that'll be great. So USD CHF is like a hidden gem. So the reason why you only see these 3 pairs on my screen, I hid these 4, is because I have a mentor. Me and my mentor, we talk weekly, and he's just helping me strategize some things and seeing like what works out best for me. So my highest win rate per pair is the euro. My highest win rate last month per pair was EUR USD, USD JPY, USD CHF, and then AU and NU was like neck and neck. Because they were neck and neck, I was like, you know what? If it's not over 3%, I don't want to trade the pair. So with EUR USD, I got over 3%. UJ, I got over 3%. USD CHF, I got the most, which is 8%. So that's why there's only these 3. But anyways, in between time, yes, I'm looking for short-term buys in the sells. Another buy location that price might end up going to is right here, and that's just dependent on how um, the volume profile close today. Like obviously, if it closes above the value area high, I know that more than likely price is gonna come use this as liquidity, come up, and then hit me into my sell limit, and then keep going down. I have my pending order set right here, so we'll see. We'll see. And then last but not least, same thing with UJ. So my first UJ trade hit me out. Again, it is what it is. One thing about me is I will keep taking L's until I get that one big trade that comes and gets all my L's back. So I don't mind taking L's as long as I know that I'm sticking to my rules, then I'm good. So USD JPY, this is my first avenue of approach um, for this trade. So again, looking for short-term buys into sells. The reason why these things are setting up really, really nicely for me is because Tuesday for me is usually the higher the low of the week, depending on what we're looking at. So right now, this is Monday. All right, got a few more hours in the market. If price can just bloom, hit me in, and then just drop down, that'll be perfect. Perfect setup, real textbook setup for me. Same thing with right here. So this actually might hit me out, but if it does, it is what it is because I have my secondary threshold right here for it to hit me in. And then last but not least, USD JPY. So that's it for the pairs that I'm watching. Overall, for the DXY for this week, I'm looking for short-term buys in the sells. So meaning that EU, I'm looking for short-term sells in the buys. USD JPY, USD CHF, short-term buys into sells. And that's for that. Now let's go to the section that I'm not too privy of trading. So AUD USD. If you would have took this trade, got stopped out, and then right here again, you would have not gotten stopped out. Price is still doing its thing. It's looking real clean so far. As you can see, price made like a double bottom and had some pretty sweet rejections. So it's really just seeing how price plays out and how the volume area ends up closing. Again, if this fails, my secondary location I'm looking at to get into the market is right down here, this other POC, right? And then riding it up. AUD USD moves slow to the point where it's easy to catch trades, and then it's really easy to correct yourself. So Great British Pound USD, just a lot of liquidity. GU use all of this as liquidity. This POC right here, you could have used as a second entry. If GU was just your pair, you know, just trading how you trading it. But I'm no longer trading GU, but I'm still going to mark it up for you. So that could have been your second entry if you so choose. And then if this fails, you already know down here is where we'll be looking at to get in for some buys. Price hasn't indicated to me that there's a change in like structure yet. I'll check that on the 4-hour, but I haven't really seen anything that like let me show that, you know, structure has changed. NZD USD, same thing as AU, right? So hit me out right here. Cool. I don't know where this came from, but hit me out right here. Cool. Again, you could have used this as potential entry, this POC, or you can just wait for price to get down here if it decides it wants to get down here. Not necessarily, it won't necessarily get down here, but you know, as a just in case. And then last but not least, USD CAD. So as you can see again, USD CAD, this boom stop loss hit, but boom, look right here, POC, it seems to be holding right now, which is pretty good for USD CAD. And then looking for downward sells. Again, this made a double top. These rejections are very strong rejections, so that could be a potential as well. So no intro, no outro, straight fire. That was my daily recap as well as my weekly outlook. Peace.